You are watching WPTV, award-winning college television.
Welcome back to the desk. The NFL offseason is upon us, and there has been surprising moves happening left and right. Here to analyze it all on the gridiron is Michael Milligan, Logan, McKay, Cole Jarvis, and Matt Goldman. There has been many teams jumping out the gate, signing as many free agents as possible. Cole, I'll go to you first here. What team needs to be aggressive here in the free agency circle?
The Las Vegas Raiders. The Las Vegas Raiders made a trade for Geno Smith, as we saw. They hired Pete Carroll. They lost Trayvon Merrick and Nate Hobbs in the back end, and they don't have any weapons right now. So they need to go out and be aggressive, both on the defensive back side of the football and outside, wide receivers and running backs.
Logan, what team needs to be more aggressive?
Speaking of Trayvon Merrick, he got signed by the Carolina Panthers, and they've made a good few signings already. They did rank last for defense, so they signed a lot of defensive players, but they also ranked 29th for offense, so I think they need to focus more on the offensive end. They could get Armani Cooper, Stephon Diggs, and Keenan Allen, but so far they're doing pretty good. This might get them out of the last spot of the AFC South, but I think they have to be a little bit more aggressive.
Goalie, I'll go to you. What team needs to be more aggressive?
It's got to be the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, if they want to contend in 2025, Jerry and crew have to start really making these big moves. They picked up Javonte Williams. They traded for Kyer Elam, who I can't stand Kyer Elam. But Kenneth Murray, Peyton Turner, Miles Sanders, these are not these big moves that's going to get Dallas back into the playoffs in 2025. The reports they're linked to Cooper Kupp, but I don't know if they're going to get him. It's just a bad start to the Schottenheimer regime in Dallas.
Millie, what team needs to be more aggressive here?
It definitely has to be the Cincinnati Bengals. Let me tell you right now, they decided last year, let's not focus on defense, let's not focus on offensive line, and their season went from so high and just kerplunked all the way down to the bottom of the, AFC North has been, really competitive, and they're not competing anymore. So what they need to do right now, yes, they franchise tag T. Higgins, which is fine. They still need to figure out Jamar Chase. Trey Hendrickson's going to be on his way out pretty soon too. So if they really need to get some pieces on defense a lot of times, and also just offensive line needs help a lot as well, especially with Sam Hubbard leaving on defensive end as well. They're not getting much better.
Mm-hmm. So far, we've seen plenty of trades go down, moving some of the league's biggest superstars. Michael, I'll go to you first here. What trade will have the biggest impact?
All right, so mine's kind of weird because I'm an odd guy, let's be honest. But C.J. Gardner-Johnson, honestly, I think that trade's really going to help out a lot. Look, he had 6 interceptions this past year and 59 tackles. And I think, look, anywhere he goes, he's going to be a really key player. And I just don't understand, why the Eagles really just gave up on him, honestly. I think he did fine for the Super Bowl. I think he did fine for the entire team. So I think where he's landing now is a most ideal situation for him right now.
It's a weird trade. Why would they trade Kenyon Green for C.J. Gardner-Johnson?
I don't know, man. I'm not the front office. Why would you ask me this question, man?
It's just silly.
Don't look at me like that.
It's silly.
Look at me like I'm a box of roses. How dare you?
A box.
Cole, I'll go to you. What trade has the biggest impact?
Well, you guys are talking about C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming over to Houston. Houston actually dumped Laramie Tunsil, one of the cornerstone left tackles in the NFL. They traded him over to Washington. That's a great trade for Washington. They're building off of Jaden Daniels' fantastic rookie season. To get a guy like Laramie Tunsil, protect the blind side for a young quarterback, that's going to go a long ways.
Logan, what trade are you looking at?
Geno Smith traded from the Seahawks to the Raiders. I don't really get why. He was passing for over 4,000 yards, which is 4th in the league, with 70%. Sure, he threw a good amount of picks with 15. I think that's 3rd, but he still scored 21 touchdowns. But the Raiders did kind of win this trade because they get a more experienced QB than Aiden O'Connell. And Geno Smith gets to play with Pete Carroll, who he played with for 5 seasons at the Seahawks. So that'll be good. And he's a bit old.
Goalie, I know where you're going with this one, but talk to me about your trade.
It's going to be DK Metcalf. I mean, he's had a bad year in Seattle. He finds his way in Pittsburgh, and 6,300 yards, 48 total touchdowns in his time in Seattle. Whoever's playing quarterback in Pittsburgh's going to have a tandem of DK and George Pickens, which having 2 malcontents on the same team is never a good idea. The Steelers haven't had this premier wide receiver since Antonio Brown. So having this big-time wide receiver come into the offense will really help him out in 2025.
Absolutely, you got that right. This offseason, NFL players have been getting extended left and right. Goalie, I'll go to you. Which extension has stood out to you the most?
Well, it's going to be the best player in football, Josh Allen. 6 years, $330 million, $250 million guaranteed last season, 3,731 passing yards, over 500 yards on the ground, 40 total touchdowns, 28 passing, 12 rushing, and he went home with the league MVP. What more can you ask for out of the best player in the NFL? I mean, if Josh Allen's not on the Bills, they're not the best team in the NFL. He reduces turnovers, increases QBR and efficiency, pound for pound, best quarterback, best player. It's not a debate for me.
Yeah, I mean, you could go on and on about Josh Allen.
And look at
yeah, of course, he's got his jersey going on. Josh Allen.
Oh my God!
Put that away.
Look at it.
It's
Whoa.
blue. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Nobody wants.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
right.
This is
right.
We're in a civilized place here. There's no need
Yeah,
for
that's
that.
right.
Say,
There's
I
no
will
need
say
for
I was
that
about to
garbage
order
here on the desk.
A Shaquille
You
jersey
buffoon.
off of NFLshop.com. I'm going to be a Bills fan.
I'm
now.
going to need you to cool it with
Stop
that too.
making your mouth agape. Put it closed, boy. All right?
Anyway, Michael, I'll go to you here. What are you looking at?
Myles Garrett. I mean, he has been the absolute beast over there at AFC North right now. Look at the stat line he has right now. 47 tackles over here, 22 tackles for a loss, 14 sacks. That's 1-4, baby. And then also 3 forced fumbles. I mean, look, this guy deserves his payday. He's making over $150 million. He is an absolute beast, and he deserves every single penny, and he's only going to help the Browns. Yeah, yes, now the Browns are not in a particularly
never
good
win.
He's not in a particularly good situation. However, he is still going to be an asset to that team. Now, Matt, would you like to talk to me now without interrupting me, huh?
He's never gonna win. He should have went to Buffalo.
Yeah, but should have went to Buffalo. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. You know what, sir? You are outrageous today. I need you to tone it down a little bit. All right?
I'm sick of you.
My shenanigans. I'll show you shenanigans. You know, just a little toss
Yeah,
it up
but if he
afterwards,
went to
huh?
Buffalo, he would have had a chance to win a ring. He goes to Cleveland, he's going to sit back
Yeah,
and relax.
because he's
on the couch.
loyal to his fan base.
Is that really the argument here? He's never going to win anything. He sucks. Then that's his decision.
Why do you think Larry Fitzgerald never left the Cardinals, huh?
Cole, I'll go to you.
Yeah, no rebuttal.
Go ahead, keep going.
Loyalty.
Cole, I'll go to you here. What extension are you looking at?
Byron Murphy of the Minnesota Vikings. He is on the cusp of being a top 5 corner in this league. You'll see his stats here. 81 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 6 interceptions, and 14 pass deflections. This guy is pretty much on the verge of, pretty much taking somebody's top spot of being an elite corner in this league. And the Vikings got some other really key pieces. This one, I think, is a really important one.
They did lose Darnold, though. Sam
did lose
Darnold is a
Darnold.
huge loss.
They did lose Darnold. They got JJ and company left.
Yeah.
Logan, I'll go to you here. I know who you're talking about. He had a hell of a season.
He did.
Walk me through him.
Saquon Barkley, he got free of the Giants finally after so long, and he just ran wild at the Eagles and run he did for over 2,500 yards, 2,005 yards, first in the league with 278 receiving yards and 15 touchdowns and 1 Super Bowl ring. They made a good decision re-signing him for 2 more years. I mean, we all saw that backwards hurdle. That was like one of his first few days in there. And I think this next season we're going to see him explode even more and just be a more key player.
Yeah, you got that right. Saquon Barkley absolutely had a great season. He's probably going to continue to have great seasons in Philadelphia. Some big name free agents found themselves a new home this year. Logan, I'll go back to you. What newly free agency signing will have the biggest impact?
I mentioned his name earlier, Sam Darnold going to the Seahawks. Just 3 days after they got rid of Geno Smith. He's a prime quarterback who Mike Macdonald can train pretty well. And this last season, he threw for over 4,000 yards, 35 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions, which isn't that amazing. But he's just a good quarterback who I think the Seahawks can use really well.
Goldie?
Speaking of the Bills, it's going to be Joey Bosa. 1 year, $12.6 million. He was injured a season ago. Michael, I see you a little snappy over there. That's fine. He's well rested. He's no longer injured. He was a Pro Bowler this last season. Over 340 tackles is his career for the Chargers. 87 TFLs, 72 sacks, 156 quarterback hits. The Bills need themselves a premier edge rusher, and they got it.
You're bringing up career tackles? My brother, understand this last season.
He's back.
He's
Joey
back.
Bosa's back.
Where? In the retirement home where he
In
should
Buffalo.
be.
He's going to be the premier edge
he's back
rusher.
in Buffalo.
He's going to be the reason why the Bills take home the Super Bowl next year.
Oh, just another defensive end to fall at the feet of Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, I guess so, right?
Pair him up with Greg Rousseau. It's going to be the best 1-2 tandem in the NFL.
All right. You know what? Fine. Be that way. How dare you? Anyway.
I got my Josh Allen jersey throat, so I'm all over the place.
Yeah, because Cole does not like the Bills. So there's
It's
your
not
answer.
that. It was just, there's no need. Simple.
Millie, I'll go back to you here. Walk me through your free agents.
It has to be for me, Devontae Adams. Now, hush over the peanut gallery. All right, so he had 1,053 receiving yards this year and 85 receptions. He's going from Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew, then going over to Aaron Rodgers and everything like that. And he still produced so well for both his teams he were on. And even for the Jets, he wasn't even the premier receiver. He was like 1A, 1B with Garrett Wilson. Now he's going over to be almost a similar role with Puka Nacua over there at the Rams. And look, I know the contract is quite big. It's 2 years, $46 million, or $43 million, 26 of it guaranteed, whatever it may be. But he's going to be a nice duo, a nice tandem over there in the Ram territory. And I think they're going to make a nice, strong push, especially with them re-signing Matt Stafford.
Cole, finish us off here with this NFL free agency block or offseason block with your free agent.
This is a long time coming for this player. It's Justin Fields, Chicago Bear draftee some years ago. Had a rough go there with Matt Eberflus. Things got started to fall out. He was fired just this past year. But Justin had a good time over in Pittsburgh. And he's going to have a new opportunity with the Jets. I know the franchise is very hungry for a player of his caliber to come in and try and turn the tide.
And the fans too. They're
absolutely.
starving.
Everybody's waiting for Justin Fields, and I think this could be start something new for the Jets.
He's a New York Jet.
That's going to conclude our block. We have seen a lot of big trades go down this past week. This is shaping up to be a very interesting NFL offseason. We will keep you posted on any more big news. Don't forget to follow us at SportsDeskWP for updates and more. Thank you to all the cast and crew, and a big shout out to, of course, our wonderful studio manager, Al Clarke. From Studio B in Hamilton Hall and from everyone here at the desk, I'm Tyler Cooper saying so long. See you after spring break, right here on WPTV.